Hey, it's Central Valley Business. I am your host, Steve Walling. My guest for this segment is Robin Collins with the Heritage Discovery Center. Robin, welcome to the show.
Thank you
and
for having me.
You've got some really neat stuff to talk about, but before we go there, tell us all a little bit about the Heritage Center itself.
The Heritage Discovery Center was designed in 1992 and is a nonprofit that originated in Monterey, California, for the preservation of colonial California history and the education of that, so that people would have an opportunity to step back in time and experience early colonial California as you would if you went to the east and had the opportunities for like Williamsburg, Jamestown.
Before we were on camera, we've talked a little bit about the colonial period. A lot of people don't realize that California did have a colonial period. It's like, well, there's California, and then there was the gold rush, and then we were part of the United States. But there was a period of colonialism here.
Before statehood.
But there's something very unique that you're going to share with us today that came about during that time. So tell us, this is exciting stuff. Go ahead and share that with us, if you would, please.
Well, thank you. There's so much to say. We represent with the Heritage Discovery Center 8 sections, and the section I'm going to speak about today is called Rancho del Sueño, which means Ranch of Dreams, and it's the livestock that came, which is referred to now as heritage breeds, and is managed from the American Livestock Association, Conservancy, I should say,
Right.
and that covers all the animals that the Spanish brought. A lot of people don't realize that we didn't have the equids, the cattle, the sheep, the goats, the pigs, the chickens. Those all came with the Spanish, you know, on the West Coast.
Right.
Different version on the East Coast.
They weren't native to...
No, they were not. We had turkeys.
Well, yeah. We do have turkeys. But but you were telling me that there is actually some horse stock that has the original genetic makeup that the Spaniards brought to the New World.
When the Spaniards brought themselves and mostly the military to explore and find riches and resources for their homeland, they brought their horses because their horses are a tremendous part of their culture.
Right.
And that's what they used for exploration and to be able to move along and develop and move north. They came into all different parts of the islands that we have, like around in Florida and Cuba, off of Cuba, but they came mainly into the central part of Mexico, and like Veracruz, and worked their way north up to Sonora. And then a Jesuit priest, Father Kino, started missions there, and he did 24 missions in 24 years. But from this mission chain, he also started the livestock management that preserved the animals there that were then brought with the colonists. We have Anza and Portola, which were our first two individuals to bring colonists. Anza went to San Francisco. Portola took his to Carmel. And those people colonized there and brought the livestock. Then without the horses, it would have been considerably more complicated.
Right.
Especially since they brought the cattle, which was what we're very famous for, our legacy in California, the great ranchos of California were our commerce also. And hide and tallow was the product at that time. So these great cattle ranches were managed with the horses, and the colonists were brought by the horses, and then the horses helped develop agriculture and the missions.
We have this breed of horse here in California today that, as you were sharing with me before we went on the show, is considered like a genetic time capsule.
They are considered a genetic time capsule.
Now, why is that?
Because they were the only horses that have been found that have been completely isolated and have never been exposed or privy to any other livestock, any other
So they haven't been
livestock.
crossbred with any other breeds. This is pretty rare, huh?
Very rare.
Yeah.
And they were DNA'd originally in 1990 when they were being removed from the ranch, the Wilbur Cruz Ranch in Arivaca, which was then just 10 miles north of the Arizona border, which was new statehood at that time. The horses were blood typed and found to be Spanish. But now, 27 years later, we have DNA, which is a lot more specific in a lot of different ways. So last year, these horses were DNA'd, and their DNA goes back for hundreds and hundreds of years to the very original, and before even the original livestock of Iberia.
How common is this breed in the world?
They're not. There's less than 180.
and they're here.
And
basically.
they're, yes, well, we have the stallion station,
Mhm.
and the majority of the genetics are actually with our horses that are here, Madera County, just right up Highway 41. And we do a lot of work for preservation. We do reenactment. We've done a tremendous amount of reenactment and documentaries, movies.
Yeah, so, Robin, if someone like is watching this day and they're either interested in the horses or in the Heritage Discovery Center, how do they find you?
Well, we have a website, and in that website there's also directions and an explanation about the horses and the activities that we have and the things the horses have participated in.
And what is that
and
website?
their history. It's www.ranchodelssueño.com.
Spell.
Sueno.
There you go.
Yes.
This is worth checking out. I mean, this is it's a real treasure, having these horses, and it's right here locally. People can go see them. And do you put on things on a regular basis?
We have events. One of the main values of these horses is that they are generational.
Yeah.
They have their own society, and we've tried to maintain that society. And there's a movie out right now called Jane, and Ms. Goodall, who was, instrumental in helping us learn about generational societies. These horses are the equine opportunity to visit that, and you will see the depth of care capacity and socialization in these horses that you can't find today in the domestic breeds that we have because they haven't been allowed to be generational for so long.
That's amazing.
It is. And they demonstrate community, unconditional love, and we also do equine therapy with these horses.
That's also amazing. That's pretty good. Robin, thank you for being on the show and sharing that with us.
Thank you so much.
This is I do this show and I get to meet some of the interesting people and learn about, really incredible things. This is definitely one of those incredible things. Thank you
so
again
much.
for being on the show. All right, we'll see you when we come back.